So, fifth fun fact about Japan is that Japan has a much younger average house than the rest of the world. In fact, the average house age you can expect in Japan is 30 years. This is obviously much lower. I live in a 200-year house. Jeremy's like, I think my house is double that old, and he's got a crazy modern apartment for UK standards. And yeah, the average house in Japan is much, much, much younger, and there's a lot of reasons for this. You know, like you can think of like earthquakes, for instance. You can think of the fact that, you know, World War II was not that long ago, comparatively speaking. So yeah, the average house in Japan is 30 years old, except that's a misleading statistic because it's actually the average destroyed house. Because obviously, you know, there's a lot of houses that are hundreds of years old that have still stood, even through the atomic bombs in some cases. And yeah, basically 30 is a little bit of a misleading stat, but it still just goes to show that a lot of things stem from that, such as that if you look around, you'll see a lot of destroyed building blocks because a house is worth less than the land in some places. If you buy if you have a house that's more than 30 years old and it's not greatly built, then buying that plot of land is more expensive. You know, it's a better idea to destroy the plot of land and then sell it that way. So if you look behind us, for instance. If you look over here, there's just a huge gap. We're in like we're in the heart of Tokyo metropolis. Oh no! Oh, Jeremy! Sorry. Oh my gosh!
Did I need
you have no idea how rude you are.
Was I?
You kept backing into. I wish I was recording.
Oh, God.
Is this recording go? So right. Okay, Jeremy just did the rude like. I'm gonna like do a recreation. He was like backing away like this, and the woman's just here like.
Oh my God! I feel so bad. Should I go back? How would you say sorry?
Oh yeah, we've ruined Japan. It's gone. We're sorry. We killed it. Okay, so average house there is 30 years old. We're keeping it going. And that's the average scrap house, so it's a little bit misleading. But it does lead to a few weird facts, such as if you buy a used house that's not very recently built, getting a mortgage on it, very hard, because the bank knows its worth is past a certain point. If you buy a plot of land, it's worth a lot more than a plot of land with a building, which is more than 20 years old on, and you see a lot of weird things as a result of that. So, yeah, basically, in Japan, the average age of a house is super young, and a lot of strange things result from that. It's a little bit misleading, but it still does lead to a lot of gaps in the city where, again, something has to be torn down and rebuilt, because this has to happen on a really frequent basis. Also, buildings are made from wood here, which is definitely a lot of them, which is not the standard in most of the world, right, Jeremy? Am I wrong about that? I don't think my house is made of wood. I'm like fairly certain.
I hope it's not made of wood.
I hope it's not. Yeah. So yeah, I live in a 200-year-old house, but if I lived in Japan, I wouldn't be able to. Probably. I wasn't in love with it, but oh man, I thought you were doing it on purpose, and I was like, why would you be?
What, walking with that woman?
Like it was.
Oh, I didn't even see her.
It was.
Why?
I want to see my look of horror as I see that.
That was really bad, but I thought it was because I was pointing. I thought I was ruining the video pointing it up. And you're like, no, don't point it up.
Oh.
They don't want to see it up.
I was just saying, Jeremy, it's not.
It's unhelpful.
Yes, it is. Oh.
I feel bad, but I'm almost a little bit over it.
she gave me a look of like, oh yeah, don't worry.
Well, she must know, right, that I didn't see her.
I hope, yeah, she did. I really need a refreshing drink. Tropicana 100.